Hi, I didn't really advertise this video or subscriber goal well at all. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this sub goal in like 4 videos. But yay! 5,000 subs. Like actually though, like holy shit, what the fuck? I did not think I would ever hit this number in like a million years, but here we are. That's like half of 10K, which is also crazy as fuck to think about. So to celebrate this subscriber milestone, I am going to be reading one of the most controversial manga, in the West at least, that people either hate with every fiber of their being or just, you know, they just like the manga. That being A Girl on the Shore by Inio Asano. Fair warning, the subject matter in this manga is really sus, which is the only word I can think that comes to mind for some reason, which really shows how brain rotted I am. Yeah, that's the only word I can think about. I hate it. I hate it here. How should I start this video? Yes. A Girl on the Shore was released on July 8th. Sorry, I'm just gonna tell the plot. If I were to give a short and simple synopsis of the plot, it would be 2 characters being Komei and Isobe entering a friends with benefits relationship and having loveless intercourse with each other, which might not sound as bad of a plot and actually sounds kind of interesting if it weren't for the fact that the 2 main characters of this manga were 9th graders. So 2 high schoolers. Well, in Japan, that's technically middle school, but for us, that's high school. I'll just say that they are 9th graders for the sake of clarity. Either way, that's a no-no. No good. Kind of fucky-wucky. Why did I say that? And with this being an Inio Asano manga, he goes into so much detail in some of these scenes, which in some cases results in some of these beautiful shots of the town and the characters, and in some cases, it's way too much detail for comfort. And considering the plot of this manga, yeah, I am referring to very detailed scenes. Yeah. And that's when I realized why this manga was so controversial. It tells a very dark and gross story and goes out of its way of showing every single bit of it, regardless of how vile it gets. And now that I've read it, I completely understand why people don't like this manga at all. But even after reading it and finishing it, I can say with 100% certainty, I kind of like this manga. I don't know what that says about me, but I actually like the story that's being told in this manga. And before anyone says anything, yes, I did find every single scene between Komei and Isobe to be very uncomfortable. But that's just something to expect from reading an Inio Asano manga, feeling thoroughly uncomfortable. Unless you're reading Dead Demons, and that's just a clusterfuck.
Fair warning, I'm about to go full nerd emoji on you guys, brace yourselves.
Because of the subject matter of this manga, from what I've seen online, people disregard the message this manga is trying to show by saying it's probably the grossest piece of fiction that they have ever read, and that they either want to like erase this from their memory or just throw away their volume of this manga. Which to me, oh god, this is gonna sound so pretentious, I'm sorry. I feel like they just missed the entire point of this manga, which is to show how fucked up early teenage relationships and sexual awakenings can be. In the beginning, we see Komei leave a very toxic relationship with her ex Misaki and chooses to rebound with Isobe, someone who has shown interest in her in the past. And oh boy, their relationship is very healthy. In case you couldn't tell, no, it's not. It's far from it. And I'm not gonna point fingers at who's the reason why the relationship is bad. It's Komei. It's 100% Komei. Komei is the type of person to use other people just to feel that they are back in power after someone has wronged them, even if she doesn't care how the other person feels. And there are countless times of Komei flat out telling Isobe that she doesn't really care about what happens to him or what he does with himself, and even rejects kissing him. She just wants the feeling of being back in control after being wronged by her previous partner. Meanwhile, Isobe is a depressed mess who has become completely numb to everything around himself after the loss of his brother, which he blames himself for. He has completely given up hope of any positive change to his life. Isobe just simply exists and has become unashamed of doing the most dirty things, and I do mean dirty. Okay, sorry for the immersion break here. I have to mention some of the shit that Isobe does. It's just actually so gross. Like, why would you eat your own cum? Which, you know, makes him a perfect target for someone like Komei. Both of them use sex as a coping mechanism to feel something, Whether it's Kome finding someone to use without caring of their well-being, because their well-being is already down the shitter, and she gets to be the one abusing her power over someone, much like how Misaki did to her. There are multiple scenes where Isobe says that he's going to end himself, and Kome just encourages it. She doesn't care. It's because she can hardly give a fuck about him. And Isobe uses it just to feel wanted by someone, even if the love is one-sided. He is just happy to be of use for Kome. And the fact that this is probably the only positive thing that's happening in his life. Actually, I wouldn't even call it positive. And something I have to mention, because I don't know where else to put this, to put it bluntly, Kome fucking sucks. There's a moment where she finds out that Isobe has pictures of a girl on an SD card and goes out of her way to delete the photos off his computer just because she doesn't want Isobe to have a slight chance of leaving her for another girl in the future. She wants to have complete control over him. But at the same time, both of them confide in their brokenness with each other because they are both in a shitty situation. They find comfort in each other because you know what they say, she is just like me and he is just me. Wait, what? Bad joke. And even if Kome doesn't even like Isobe, she still comes back to him, and the same goes with Isobe. He gets mistreated, degraded, and even loses some important pictures that Kome deleted off his computer. And even after all of that abuse, he still stays with her. There is a scene where Isobe and Kome are lying in bed together, not really doing anything, just laying there. And they have a sort of intervention with each other. Kome wants to know why Isobe even wanted to be with her, and this is probably my favorite chapter, even though before this scene, it was just them having intercourse with each other. Just them talking it out, and some of these lines are some of my personal favorites. This entire interaction in particular, there was just something about it that I can't really explain why, but this has to be one of my favorite lines in any manga that I have read in a while. Spoiler warning real quick, I will put a timestamp on the screen for those of you that want to skip this part. Isobe actually does end up rebounding after beating the absolute shit out of Misaki and his friends and getting them arrested. He cuts his hair, he finds the girl that he took a picture of, the ones that Kome ended up deleting off his computer, and it was in love with, and they end up hitting it off. Kome sees how much Isobe has changed and hates everything about it. Isobe was supposed to be Kome's kindred spirit, someone who was supposed to be suffering just as much as she was, but now that he is no longer suffering like she is, she ends up feeling left behind and realizes how much she needs him in her life. Like I said before, I get why this manga is so controversial, and I completely understand why you wouldn't want to read it, but this has to be one of my favorite reads in a while. I was expecting going into this just hating everything about it and expecting this to be only scenes without any substance, but well, there was a bunch of that too, but I actually ended up getting a story that's pretty deep. Still isn't my favorite Inyo Asano manga though. That's still Dead Demons. I'm still too afraid to read Oyasumi Pun Pun. Yes, this manga isn't perfect. There are some things that I found flawed, like how Kome isn't as fleshed out as Isobe. It feels like this is Isobe's story told through the eyes of Kome. Or how there are like some scenes that seem very unnecessary. Like the scene that involves an Amazon package. If you know, you know. Or once again, the scene where he eats his own cum! And to be honest, this manga low-key reminds me of Metamorphosis, but with a more happier ending. I don't know why that's what my brain wants to compare this to, but it just does. But even after saying all of that and praising this manga, there is something that I have to mention. I didn't understand the ending of this manga at all. Like, I get it's supposed to show how Kome has grown as a person and changed, but the last part of the ocean, I still don't understand. Even after looking it up, the best explanation I could find is a Reddit post saying how the ocean represents their damage being eroded away. But even then, I'm not quite sure. If anyone in the comment section could give me an explanation, that would be great, honestly. And something I just remembered, just if you don't want to read, or, I mean, you still have to read because it'll be subtitled, but if you don't want to read the manga, there's a live action for this. I don't know if it's good or not, but yeah, that's always an option as well if you guys want to see that. I kind of just remember that as I was recording this. But yeah, I think that's enough of me yapping about this manga. This video turned out to be a literary analysis video instead of a review. Sorry if this video was way different from the other stuff, but this manga ended up being something that I was not expecting. I was really expecting this to be something like Rose and Garden Saga video or something, but if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, as I would very much appreciate it. And, you know, Fuck it. Next sub goal is going to be something massive. It's going to be a massive jump. 100,000 subscribers. No, I'm just kidding. It's going to be 10K. Not sure if what I will do for that, but I'll figure it out once the time comes. But seriously, thank you guys so much for 5,000 subscribers. That is not something I thought I would ever reach. I thought the most I would get when I started this channel would be like 120 subscribers, but nope. Here we are with 41 times that. Like, it's actually insane, dude. If I'm gonna be a little sentimental, I appreciate all the support you guys have given me. And I hope you guys keep giving me support, and I don't, you know, do some, end up doing some fuck shit later. That's not gonna happen, I promise. But I hope you guys, have a good day or a night, and, see ya.